waterfalls, but this one has 2 waterfalls. This number 1 is a little bit smaller than the big guy over there. This Luwak coffee plantation. It's the most exotic, rich, smooth, and excellent coffee from Bali. Basically this, she said, half weasel, it's like a weasel.
Weasel cat.
Yeah. He eats this berry and then they wait for him to...
No, they eat the unroasted coffee beans.
Yes, it's a berry.
Yeah, sure.
And the coffee bean is in the berry and then he eats it and then he poops and then they harvest and clean and process
and then roast it.
And roast it and make coffee. It's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Coffee, vanilla, ginger coffee, ambil ginseng, ya. Because there's no sugar yet. Bali coffee first and then Luwak coffee.
It's different.
Yeah.
I think it's smoother.
Good morning. We are starting the day off at Jatiluwih rice field. We heard about this place from a couple that we met on the ferry to Nusa Penida. We ended up talking to this couple for probably like total maybe like an hour because the ferry there and the ferry back. It's so weird how throughout the conversation we were having, basically their son is in the Coast Guard and we're like, oh, and I think he mentioned Miami, and because we were in South Florida, I was at Fort Lauderdale, he was at Miami. We're like, oh, what unit was he at? And they said comp stay, and that's what he was first at. And we're like, oh my god, what's your last name? Turns out he was stationed with their son. That is like such a bizarre moment. They are a retired couple and they've been in Bali for like 2 weeks, and they're gonna be here until they're bored and then they move on to a new country. But they said to avoid Tagalalang rice field because it's super touristy and kind of gimmicky. They said like one side of the street is a rice field and then the other side is just shops and just things to buy, and it's just not, it's underwhelming. So they told us to come to Jatiluwih, which is a little over an hour north of Ubud. I have not been to Tagalalang, but now I want to go just to compare the two. But this one is just rice paddies and fields like everywhere. It's pretty fantastic. Pretty freaking cool. Are exploring the very famous Tagalalang rice fields, and all I have to say is drive the extra hour and go to Jatului because it is a million times better. The people that we met on the boat, they told us that this is like a tourist trap. Like, you pay to get in the fields, you pay to cross a bridge, you pay to take a picture, and they're very accurate. This place is very geared towards tourists and not geared towards growing rice. So if you want to see an actual rice field, go to Jatului. If you want to, I guess, take some pretty pictures, go on a swing, sit in a like a wicker nest thing. I mean, this one is closer. It's 20 minutes from Ubud. In pictures, it looks good, but in person, like, there's no rice. It's kind of pond scummy. It's overgrown, and I don't want to say this to be mean. I'm just trying to give you like an accurate representation of what to expect if you come here, because every video that I've seen, like, people say, oh, this is the best place to come, this is like beautiful rice fields, and I'm sure it was at one point, but it's just, I'm sorry, it's just, right? I'm not being negative.
It's like they stopped caring about the rice and more about making money off the tourism, so they stopped actually making rice.
Hey, Pupper. Where are you going, little fella? At the monkey forest in Ubud, and it's kind of like a free-range zoo. The monkeys can come and go as they want, but I'm sure they're here for food and safety. There's so many. They're so tiny. I think they're cuter than the ones in Japan. This guy could leave if he wants. It's the parking lot. All of them. There's one. Oh, he just left. They will like hop on you.
I don't think it will.
You don't think so?
No.
He's moving. I'm just kidding.
No reason they're chasing that one.
Oh. This This is a really big area for the monkeys to like hang out at. They have water, really tall trees. There's a monkey right there playing in the water.
It's just like
First started off in a random store that we saw on the side of the road, and one of the women said that there's more in the back, took us down an alley, and we ended up in like the warehouse. Like there's people over there carving, people over there like staining it. Everything that you see in the markets is made here. I was just watching the woman make like iguanas or Komodo dragons. There's just a million things to choose from. But this is so cool. This is something that you don't see very often. So this is all just shelves, and they're dusty because they're just like sitting back here. They just continuously keep pumping them out, and then the markets buy them from here, and then they shine them up, and then you put them in a basket, and then they take them to the market. But there's so many options. They're just everywhere, just buckets and buckets of carvings.
How many do you make a day? Oh, one day, the 2 pieces.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine.